Ranade sir, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
So I'll start now. A very good morning to one and all. I am Dr. Snehal Mishra, Assistant Professor, International Agribusiness Management Institute, and I welcome you all in two-day webinar on market dynamics in poultry sector, perspective and challenges. I invite Dr. F.P. Savalia, CCPI Nahib Caste, Anand Agricultural University, for his welcome address. Over to you, sir.
Awesome.
So your voice is not audible, Savalia sir.
VC sir had joined. Yes. Good morning, sir. Our honorable vice chancellor had joined.
Welcome, Vyas sir, our honorable vice chancellor sir. Shall I start?
Yes, sir.
Yes, my voice is audible.
Yes, sir. Your voice is audible.
A very good morning to all. Myself, Dr. F.P. Savalia, Principal Scientist and Head Poultry Research Station, Anand Agriculture University, Anand, and Core Co-PI of Livestock and Poultry Groups under NAHEP. Feel proud, privileged to extend my warm welcome on behalf of NAHEP AU Anand to all for inaugural function of webinar on market dynamics in poultry sector, perspective and challenges. First of all, I would like to welcome our Honorable Vice Chancellor and President of the function, Dr. R.V. Vyas sir. Sir, you are always remained our motivational and inspirational force. You are always encouraging us to make such an event a grand success. I wholeheartedly welcome you, sir. Today we have with us a renowned personality of poultry sector as our chief guest, Dr. Ajit Ranade, sir. He is Associate Dean, Mumbai Veterinary College, Mumbai. His vast experience and vision will definitely help us to examine current scenario of poultry sector critically. It is a great honor for us to welcome you, sir. I also heartily welcome Dr. Prabhat Kumar, sir, National Coordinator, NAHEP Caste. Though he is engaged in some other meetings, we wholeheartedly welcome him also. Dr. Pedkavkar sir, he is a General Manager, VHPL Group, Pune, and he is also a keynote speaker of our next session.
I think we have some kind of technical issue. He will be back in a minute.
वो क्या हुआ उनके उसमें इसमें क्या हुआ सवाले साहब का Snail, is there some
Yes,
problem?
sir. Sir, I think there is some technical issue. I think we should move forward. Sir was welcoming every guest here. So now I will invite Dr. R.S. Kundir, Professor and PI, Nahib Caste, Anand Agricultural University, for welcoming the guest and for his introductory remarks. Please.
Thank you, Snehal. First of all, in this two-day webinar on market dynamics in poultry sector, perspective and challenges under NHP Caste project of our university, Anand Agriculture University, Anand. First of all, I welcome on behalf of our family of AU Anand and on my own behalf, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, our chief guest, Dr. Ranade, and our keynote speaker, Dr. Pedgaonkar, other members, our maybe the CCPI and Professor, Dr. Savalia, Dr. Rajpura, Dr. Snehal, other members, and of course, the participants who have joined us and who are likely to join us. Apart from this, only brief about those who are not well known about this center. This center has completed 1 year, Center on Agriculture Market Intelligence under NHP cast at our university. And there are basically Padgaonkar sir and Ajit Ranade sahab, you are here. So this center is doing many activities, but two types of major activities are there. One is research related activities, and second one is capacity building activities. Apart from infrastructure development, center has independent building which is likely to be completed soon, as well as other activities like foreign visit with students as well as faculty members which are underway. So as far as research is concerned, we are conducting research centric to market intelligence, that is marketing, trade, price forecast. And apart from crops, we are also having activities from allied sectors. And one of them is livestock and poultry, under which this today's webinar is being conducted under the headship of our chairmanship of Dr. Savalia Saab and overall patron of our university, our Honorable Vice Chancellor. So other activities like maybe allied activities are food processing and dairy technologies, and maybe some other fisheries are also there. These are apart from major crops of the states. And some activities are at national level, some activities are centric to these states. So the Center for Agriculture Market Intelligence is taking care of the price forecasting, demand supply, marketing, trade, and farmer producers organizations of all the agri sectors, and focusing on this Gujarat. And one most important point is there that activities of this center are centric to PG scholars and faculty members. Though other stakeholders are policy makers and maybe the farmers, the exporters, others are there, but the activities, because this component of CAST, Center for Advanced Agriculture Sciences, is a part of NAHE projects, National Agriculture Higher Education Projects. So this is centric to the activities of PG scholars, masters and PG scholars and faculty members. So we are here to discuss in these webinars many issues pertaining to poultry, because this seminar is under the component of livestock and poultry, which is one part. There are 7 groups in this center. So this is brief about these things. We have a team of 26 faculty members, and we have also some other partner institutions, 7 partner institutions, including 2 foreign universities, and including IIMs, Ahmedabad, ISRO. These are some of the partner institutions. We are working with them also. And this apart, we have some other activities like the infrastructure facilities kind of things. All are there. This center is developing its strengths from all angles to address the issues of market intelligence, which covers, as I told you, marketing, trade, and price forecast for producer organizations. And shortly, we are sure that we will be developing ourselves, our strengths to address these all issues. With these few things, once again, I welcome you all in this webinar, two-day webinar. And over to you, Snehal, for further proceeding. Thank you very much. Yes.
Thank you so much, sir, for highlighting the key areas of NAHEB-CAST project. Now with this, I invite, and it's my privilege to invite Dr. Ajit S Ranade, Associate Dean, Mumbai Veterinary College, who is the chief guest of this webinar, for his address. Please, sir.
A very good morning, everybody. First of all, I would like to apologize for not being in a position to give and deliver the keynote address because of the health issues. As you know, the pandemic of COVID is everywhere, and in Mumbai, it's too much. Unfortunately, we also have been gripped by the same, me and my wife. So luckily, we requested the BMC authorities and we requested for the home quarantine. So I'm at home. So at least I could participate and listen to this. So I first of all apologize for that. And a profuse thank to Dr. Padgaonkar, a very good friend of mine. Just on the last moment, looking at my condition, he accepted to deliver the talk in my place. Nowadays, it's very difficult to find such people, but then I am privileged to have such people with me. I would like to thank everybody, basically, Dr. Savalia, Dr. Vyas, Dr. Pundi. But first of all, I would like to thank Dr. Rayas Rajpura, a very good friend of mine. And he has been talking to me, and I have been assuring him that, yes, I will be there, I will be there. But somehow or the other, what we say, man proposes, God disposes. So something started going wrong. But then, because of his willpower and my willpower, maybe at least I am here. and talking to you. I'm very happy to note that this NHEP Center has completed 1 year of operations at Anand. As you all are aware that at Mumbai Veterinary College also in the Department of Veterinary Public Health, we have this center recently started. But again, unfortunately, that COVID pandemic thing has started, so the progress of work is little slow. Now I believe that it will be little better, and we will be following your footsteps and taking guidance from you with respect to planning the programs under this particular project. The topic which you have selected today is very, very relevant, and I appreciate and thank the Vice Chancellor, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Vyas, Dr. Savalia, Dr. Pandir, Dr. Rajpura, and all other 22 staff members. I was very happy to note this strength of 22 people in this particular center, because unless you have good number of people dedicated, you cannot work. I was also happy to note that you have the MOUs with 2 foreign universities, and primarily you are engaged in research activities and research, the capacity building of the institute for PG students and PhD students. Very happy to know all these things, and I really wish all success, not only for this webinar of 2 days, but for the entire project, because I know as it is there at Mumbai Veterinary College also, you have to follow the strict norms as per the World Bank, and there are a lot of formalities to be completed. The people at my institute are doing that right now, so I know how difficult it is, but I must appreciate you have done that and you have started progressing in this particular direction. I'm very happy about it. Now, as far as today's topic is concerned, market dynamics, as we all always say that as far as poultry sector is concerned, everything is organized. Everything is organized except marketing. So right from selection of site for poultry farming or a breeding farm, hatchery, farming, feed, vaccine, medicines, you name the input that is needed for poultry, and you are very well organized in that particular sector, except for marketing. And exactly that's the hitch, that's the problem. Basically, we produce eggs, we produce brother chicken in the farm in a very nice manner, in a very scientific and hygienic manner. But when we give those birds or eggs for marketing, the systems which are still followed in our country are not up to the mark, and that's the reason why it creates a very wrong impression about the poultry sector, and that's the main reason why there is so much of ups and downs in the prices, and the industry suffers every year, maybe once or twice, because of unremunerative prices. Lot can be done about it. Dr. Pedgaonkar will definitely speak about that. Lot can be done about it, right from changing the mindset of the people, Indian customers. We need to change a lot of things so that the sector would improve. We will listen to Dr. Pedgaonkar, and then we will get enlightened about it. But what I could say is that the topic which you have selected for the seminar or for a webinar is very, very relevant. And the information that we are going to dissipate, maybe Dr. Vasant Kumar and other people are also going to speak, so we all will get enlightened about this aspect by the end of the webinar. So I once again congratulate and wish all success for this particular webinar. Kindly excuse me, I'm not in a position to talk today. I could speak at least for 5-6 minutes continuously. That is something which is for the first time in last 10 days. So all the best, and I'm there as a listener, and if possible, wherever necessary, I will contribute and will talk to you people again. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Rajpura, Dr. Pedgaonkar, and all the senior professors. Anand and Mumbai such a close association for so many years that I just can't imagine. So many students from my college have done PG at your place. Still they are doing, and we have a very nice association. Let's continue all that and work together and progress. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Get well soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for accepting our invitation as chief guest, even in this condition. Thank you so much. And we hope that in future, we will get an opportunity to listen to you and take advantage of your expertise. Best wishes for your health, sir. With this, I invite Dr. R.V. Vyas, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Anand Agricultural University, for his presidential address.
Good morning to one and all. Namaskar. I'm very happy to be with you today morning for a very important webinar of this area, important business that I can say poultry. Anand is known as a place. Anand and surrounding villages are involved in poultry business over decades. So in that, I think some brief has been given by Professor Ranade, and some more detail will be given by Dr. Patgaonkar. And I am sure that you have good number of speakers, 7 speakers. I think they will also brief about all the stakeholders, mainly our staff, students, and the poultry people who have joined today's program. First of all, let me say that let me wish a speedy recovery, very fast recovery to Dr. Ranade, and he can get completely cured from COVID-19. And after having a good health and after having the end of this pandemic situation, he can come down to Anand. He can guide our team, especially Dr. Pundir, Dr. Snehal, and Rajpara. Of course, Dr. Savalia, our one of the senior colleagues, is already there in team from the poultry sector and veterinary college. Let's come to the key points for this today's webinar, that market dynamics in poultry sector. There are many challenges in this sector because since my childhood, I have seen that poultry was a backyard business. No systematic poultries were there earlier, but now in last 2 to 3 decades, good number of poultries are set up, and now it has become an advanced agricultural industry or a business which can give more and more amount to the farming community. I can say that small scale and rural poultry farming is the need of the day, because presently whatever I have seen, majority is poultry is located in Anand and surrounding area. But if we go to interior villages, there is no good poultries, and they need some hand holding and training also. Of course, our poultry department and veterinary college is arranging training, frequent trainings for the farmers regarding poultry business. I have given some data from Dr. Savalia that 103 billion numbers of the poultry egg have been sold last year. It's a very impressive figure that almost all, if you can consider the Indian population, it is at par with that. Means a good number of these poultry eggs are now available to the people. And one more thing is that the people who are weak in health, especially my knowledge is concerned, I know that the people who were suffering from TB and other diseases, they were given poultry as a supplement of protein. Of course, hatcheries are in good number in our area. Of course, even Maharashtra and Gujarat, I can say these are the 2 states. Both has done wonderful work in poultry sector. And the figure has been very impressive about the 1,347 billion turnover per annum for poultry, chicken, meat, and other like broiler. All 3 business is very good, and it is contributing about 0.7% of the GDP in the country. It's also very important. So the vision of Modi ji, doubling the farmer income, in that also they've included poultry and fishing. Fish and poultry, both the business they have included, that these 2 business should be supported for the small and rural farmers and in villages, so they can have additional income. Of course, to give some brief about the Gujarat state motive, now Gujarat government is providing cold chain facility, storage facility to farmer, on-farm facility storage, and even transport vehicle are also be provided to the farmers. So this is 7 steps which our state government has declared to support the farmer out to come out from this COVID-19 bad scenario in the farming and allied sectors. So this all will be helpful. But I wish that a good number of farmers can come together, form an FPO for poultry sector. The farmer who can have a small facility, very small facility. But if they can organize with the cold chain facility for transport facility, which will be provided to villages in Gujarat state, will be useful to them to have their extra income and to increase their source of income. Of course, there are many points to be discussed, but I can say that in this situation of COVID-19, we observed that the feed supply was a great problem in poultry sector. Feed was not easily available to the birds. So in such cases, now after this situation, we have to plan for such supply of a continuous feed supply, because poultry need everyday feed. Morning, evening, you have to feed them. If you fail, then they die. Second thing was, even the medicines was also a problem in this pandemic situation of COVID. So this point is to be further taken care. I think experts will advise what to do for these 2 constraints which they have faced recently in last 3 months. So with these few points, I wish a very successful webinar for 2 days. A lot of information will be shared amongst you all veterinarians and poultry experts, and that will be ultimately useful to our student as well as the poultry farming people who have joined today's webinar. A good number of people have joined. I think Snehal will give the figure that how many have got registered. That about hundreds of people have got registered for this particular.
Yes, sir. More than that. Yes, sir.
Yeah, more than that. Then,
yes,
then it will be more useful to all the stakeholder with us. Thank you very much, and all the best to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for highlighting the key areas of poultry sector and the issues also related to it. Thank you again. With this, I invite Rais Raj for vote of thanks, who is the core co-PI, of NAHEP Cast, Anand Agriculture University. Please, sir.
Thank you, madam. Good morning to one and all. I, Dr. Rais Rajpura, Assistant Professor, Department of Animal Science, AU Anand, on behalf of this NAHEP Cast project on Center for establishing Center for Agriculture Market Intelligence at AU Anand and the entire team, I take this opportunity to propose a vote of thanks to those who directly and indirectly contributed in organizing this 2 days webinar on market dynamics in poultry sector, perspectives and challenges. At the outset, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, and President of today's function, Dr. R.V. Vyas, sir, for his continuous guidance and encouragement. I am highly thankful that sir has highlighted the importance of poultry and poultry sector, particularly for this nutritive value and the importance of egg and meat, sir. We fortunate enough, sir, you have a very good thinking for this poultry, and this is help us in future also. I also thankful to our chief guest, Dr. Ranade, sir, Associate Dean, Mumbai Veterinary College. In spite of his ill health and this COVID condition also, he graced over this function. And we enlightened with your presence, and we had an opportunity to hear your thoughts on poultry sector, sir. And this will surely going to encourage our future events also, sir. Sir, we wish for your speedy recovery and will back with us, sir. I'm also thankful to this national coordinator of the NAHEP, Dr. Prabhat Kumar, sir, though he's not joined with us because of some important function, but he conveys his regards and to us. I extend my sincere thanks to Dr. Pedgaonkar sir, General Manager Venkateshwara Hatcheries Private Limited. At the end moment, he convinced and he will shortly give us a keynote speak on this poultry. Thank you, sir. I would also like to thank our advisor and principal and dean IAB my college for their support. I also extend my heartfelt thanks to our principal investigator of this NAHIP CAST project, Dr. R.S. Pandit sir, for his enormous cooperation and guidance to the team, sir. He is the man who always support us and guide us, lead us, sir. So we need, sir, your support in future also, and we thankful to you, sir. Thanks is also extended to my core co-PI of this livestock and poultry group NAHIP CAST project and organizing secretary of this webinar, Dr. F.P. Savalia, sir. He's a principal scientist, Poultry Research Station, AU Ireland. He support us, guide us, and guided to frame out all this webinar series. Thank is also extended to Dr. Y. Lad, sir, core co-PI of capacity building programs, and my fellow co-PIs, Dr. Shakti, Dr. Dilip, Ashish, and other co-PIs and PIs who always stand us and support us. Thank is also extend to Dr. Snehal for the project of the core co-PI of the project and assistant professor for smooth functioning of this inaugural function. We are fortunate enough to back by this the RAs, SRF, that is our dedicated team, sir. Without that support, we can't do the success of the seminars. And special thanks is also extend to Janki Bhavik, Apurva Kosha, Ayushi, Nirav, and Smith for their dedicated work. Last but not least, we express our sincere thanks to more than 2,000 registered participants, particularly students, faculty members, and other stakeholders of the poultry industry who have shown their interest in making this today's webinar a grand success. Thank you once again. Thank you all. Have a nice day, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. So we have come to the end of this inaugural function. Now stay tuned. This is for the participants. Stay tuned for the keynote address after this. So I hand over charge to Rais Rajpura, sir, for further activities. Thank you all the guests. Thank you all the participants.
So after inaugural, our first piece is on the keynote speaker. For keynote speaker, we need a person who knows everything about poultry, right from pedigrees or from pure line hatching to processing or marketing, right from farming to the corporate level. So we are fortunate enough that today we have with us Dr. P.G. Pedgaonkar, sir. Sir, we welcome you for this keynote address, sir. In fact, this keynote address is to be delivered by Dr. Ranade sir, but he told you that he is not well. So we will listen and Dr. Pedgaonkar sir in future, sir. But today we will listen Dr. Ranade sir in future. Today we will listen Dr. Pedgaonkar sir. Dr. Pedgaonkar sir is a veterinarian. He's done his bachelor degree BBSc and AS from Nagpur Veterinary College, and he is working right now as a general manager in Venkateshwara Hatcheries Private Limited. After completion of his graduation, Dr. Pedgaonkar sir joined Venkateshwara Hatcheries as veterinary officers and serves from the baseline for the farmers to the farmers. He's a person who is working for the farmer to the farmers in the industry. From 1993 onwards, he handled responsibility of this Nasik region, is a major layer and broiler belt region for the technical services. He established so many, with the farmers, he tried to establish so many numbers of broilers and layer farms and advise farmers for the scientific rearing. From 1996, he was with the Gujarat for a layer and broiler breeder operations, and he is looking right now entire broiler and layer breeder operation. his major role was there in this bird flu outbreak. He was the instrumental person or person who have supported the farmers for rehabilitation of the Nawapur belt. The farmers, those who have suffered lots during this first bird flu outbreak in India, actually Nawapur belt was vanished. But because of the efforts from the sir like Dr. Pedgaonkar sir, the belt is revived, the poultry belt is revived, farmers is revived, and now they are doing well. So he working with in the pan India for the poultry since his beginning of the career. So sir, today I will hand over our this speech to Dr. Pedgaonkar sir. So participant will listen Dr. Pedgaonkar sir. Sir, over to you, sir, please.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Thanks for, some kind words about me and giving my introduction to all the people either who knows me or who do not know me. So thank you, Dr. Ajit S Ranade. I listened to Dr. Vyas Saab today in inaugural program, and really it's enlightening that whatever the views are there from horse's mouth, definitely it will be helpful for not only for poultry but also for agriculture. I am thankful and welcome Dr. Savalia, Dr. Pundir, Dr. Rais Rajpura, Dr. Snehal, and of course Dr. Ajit Ranade, because of whom I am here. And of course, it's very, very difficult that listening to Dr. Ranade is something like a feast, and I will definitely be missing for that. Nobody can replace Dr. Ranade, but of course, I am taking this responsibility on 11th hour. And thanks everybody for giving me an opportunity and considering myself to be here for a very important lecture of keynote address on a very important topic. Okay. I will share my screen. Give me a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So the topic for today's program, market dynamics in poultry sector, perspectives and challenge. A very vast topic. I know it will be very difficult to sum up this topic in a period of 1 hour, 1.5 hours, but yes, I tried to cover most of the points which I felt relevant, because I am witnessing this industry from last 30 years. And I'm sure everybody has got some kind of vision, as Dr. Ranade Saab said, that we are organized in all the segments except one segment, that is marketing. Yes, that is an important thing for considering as a future role. If somebody really wants to develop himself properly, I think marketing cannot be ignored. That's a key area, key segment. In addition to that, I have some views that poultry is heavily dependent on agriculture. So unless and until agriculture growth supports poultry, it will be very difficult for poultry to grow at the tune of 7% to 10%, which poultry is growing from last 15 years. So 10% growth of any industry continuously and consecutively is really a very, Herculean task that industry is performing. Of course, till date, agriculture was supportive, agriculture has supported, and I'm sure today, Anand Agriculture University is a part of this particular program. So they also must be having their own vision for the future. So if agriculture supports poultry, I think poultry growth of 8% to 10% will not be difficult. But without support of agriculture, 7% to 10% growth in poultry will be a Herculean task. And I'm sure a policymaker will have to pick as far as this particular concept or this particular point is concerned. As we always say that food culture decides the food habit. So as far as India is concerned, this is a survey which was done by sample registration system 2014, and they have surveyed how India eats. We can see that India has got different food habits right from south to north. If we are in south, then we can see that 97 to 98% of the population is non-vegetarian population. And as we start moving from south to north, we can see that this 97-98% of non-vegetarian population becomes vegetarian. And if we come to Maharashtra, we can see 60% is non-vegetarian population and 40% is vegetarian population. If we come to Gujarat, then it is exactly opposite. 60% is a vegetarian population and 40% is a non-vegetarian population. Rajasthan, exactly different, 75% vegetarian, 25% non-vegetarian. So this is a diversified food culture of India, and one has to keep it in mind that what are the food habits of Indian population. And if we sum up this on an average basis, during 2014, it has noted that 71% of Indian population was non-vegetarian and balanced 29% of the population was a vegetarian population. Today, it might have improved a bit, and we can say that 75% of the population might be non-vegetarian and 25% of the population must be vegetarian. When we say non-vegetarian, even somebody is having non-vegetarian food once in a year is considered as a non-vegetarian person, and the person who are having 365 days non-vegetarian food also are considered as a non-vegetarian population. So considering and keeping that in mind, this survey suggests us that 71% to 75% of the population of India is non-vegetarian population. So in just graphical representation, we can see the dominance of non-vegetarian population, 71% and 29% veg population. If we just convert it into a number, considering human population of India today 135 crore, we can see that 96 crore of the population of India is non-vegetarian population, and we are producing 644 crores of the kg broiler meat at the end of the year. And if we convert this with the whole population, then the average per capita comes close to 5 kg. And if we simply convert it into the non-vegetarian population, then we are close to 6.8 kg of per capita chicken consumption. So this is the present scenario of per capita consumption of India. A long way to go. We always say that National Institution of Nutrition has recommended us that the all meat consumption should be close to 11 kg and egg consumption should be close to 180 number per person per capita. A long way to go, because we are seeing that it's only 5 kg right now, and even if we think that at least it should be somewhere around 8 to 9 kg of per capita chicken consumption, we will have to have a growth of not less than 10 to 15% per annum to make sure that within 5 to 6 years, we will achieve 8 kg of per capita consumption in terms of chicken. Our turnover, a very impressive turnover of broiler and layer industry. Broiler contributes 76,000 crore of the turnover. Layer contributes 44,000 crore turnover. Total both put together close to 1,20,000 crore turnover. Poultry industry right now has witnessed these figures of 2019. I'm sure these figures will change in coming future, considering 2-3 things. One, the availability of raw material, price of raw material, prices of chicken and prices of eggs. All that put together, we will be touching to 1,50,000 crore turnover by end of 2020 or by end of 2021. This turnover is close to 30% of the automobile industry turnover. We can imagine what automobile industry was during the period of 1990 to 1995. We are witnessing that particular growth today, and we are close to 1,50,000 crore, 30% of the automobile industry turnover. Not only that, we are having a broiler replacement of 432 crore at the end of year and layer replacement of 24 crore at the end of year. These figures are January figures. Because of COVID, there is a lot of disturbance in between, but I am sure by end of 2021, we will be witnessing or rather surpassing these figures, no doubt about it, and our growth will not be less than 7 to 8% from 2021 onwards. Alone, increase in the industry, turnover of the industry increase is not our motto. Unless and until it supports employment, unless and until it uplifts the overall livelihood of the people, no growth of any industry is helpful. We are fortunate that just increase in 50 gram of chicken meat or 1 egg per capita consumption generates 26,000 of additional employment opportunity. This is the power of poultry. We are having existing direct employment of 3 million people and indirect employment of more than 5 million rural households, that too. We are proud to be associated as a part of agriculture industry because we all know that India, our maize cultivation has been cultivated on 100 lakh hectare. Soybean is cultivated on 115 lakh hectare. Farmers who are directly engaged in maize and soybean cultivation, maize farmers are 50 lakh and soybean farmers are 57 lakh. So close to 1 crore of the farmers are directly engaged into maize and soybean cultivation. And as far as our feed requirement goes, both for broiler and layer, we need 192 lakh metric tons of feed per year through broiler industry, 108 lakh metric ton of feed through layer industry. So total put together, our requirement of feed, whose major contribution is maize and soya, is 300 lakh metric ton per year. If we just sum up this into the number, what maize requirement of ours and soya meal requirement of ours is, then we can see that for last year, maize total production was 245 lakh metric ton, out of which 60% of utilization has been done by poultry industry. So we can imagine that without poultry industry, maize cultivation seems to be a difficult and Herculean task. Soya meal, out of 62 lakh metric ton, 43 lakh metric ton is being utilized by poultry industry. So close to 70 crore. So 60% of maize utilization and 70% of soya utilization is being utilized by poultry industry directly. So we take this pride to say that poultry industry is a processing industry for agriculture. And I'm sure being Anand Agriculture University part of this webinar, they will agree and endorse what we are saying, that without processing industry, the growth of any industry seems to be difficult. And wherever processing industry has come to the rescue, be it milk, be it any other field, we have seen that whenever processing industry supports any industry, then the industry's growth is by multifold. So we can say that since poultry industry has worked as a processing industry for agriculture, converting low quality protein into value added or high quality protein, definitely it's directly support to the agriculture, and poultry should not be seen individually as a separate industry, and poultry should be considered, poultry should be seen as a part of agriculture industry or extension or processing industry for agriculture. Just this is a statistics per gram cost of protein. We always know that, I mean, unless and until economic support, no product will be having a volume growth, and economics plays an important role. So just to sum up, these are some of the protein rich diet right now India is consuming: milk, buffalo cow, paneer, buffalo cow, fish, chicken and eggs. These are the today's prices. Milk not less than 60 to 70 rupees a liter, cow milk not less than 50-55 rupees a liter, paneer 300 to 400, then fish 500 rupees. Mutton, of course, it's out of reach for a common man because it costs not less than 600 rupees a kg. In comparison to that, you can see that chicken is still placed at a very moderate price, 160 rupees a kg. Such a value added pack is available at 160 rupees a kg. And if we talk of whole eggs, eggs are available at 5 rupees to 6 rupees per egg. So if we convert it into kg, it's available at 95 rupees a kg, which is at par with a kind of even vegetables also. If we consider a normal vegetable is not available less than 70 rupees to 90 rupees a kg. So eggs are available right now at 95 rupees a kg. And if we convert that into per unit cost of protein, you can see that chicken and eggs are well below 1 rupee. Chicken is available at 60 to 65 paisa per unit cost, and egg is available at 80 to 85 paisa per unit cost. So it's not only a nutritive value, but it's economics also which is supporting to the poultry industry. And I'm sure this economics and the power pack of protein will take poultry industry to the growth of not less than double in coming 5 years. And I'm sure everybody of us will endorse this particular thing, that this matters a lot, and our encouragement comes with this particular economics of protein rich diet. As I say that chicken is available at 160, mutton 650, fish 500, eggs 95, and any vegetable not available less than 70 rupees to 100 rupees per kg. If we remove it on the basis of dry matter basis, I'm sure vegetables are costly, fish is costly, but as far as chicken and eggs are concerned, on a dry matter basis, it's very, very reasonably placed. And still it has a scope to increase, improve, and support not only to the poultry industry, but also to the agriculture farmers. Why I say so? You can see that maize and soybean prices from 2011-12 onwards till today, maize has increased the prices from 12 rupees to 24 rupees, thanks to the poultry industry. So the support of poultry industry in the growth of agriculture cannot be denied. Without the support of poultry industry, maize cultivation would not have been improved, increased, not only in terms of quantity, but also in terms of quality and good remuneration to the farmer. When we say that we have to increase the farmer's income by double from today, I think without poultry industry, it is next to impossible, because if 1 crore agriculture farmers are directly dependent on poultry or indirectly dependent on poultry by way of cultivation of maize and soybean, I am sure doubling of farmers' income, poultry is a very important instrument for doubling the income. Maize prices increased from 12 rupees to 24 rupees, a growth of straightway 90% increase. Soybean prices, which was placed at 19 rupees in 2011-12, today it's available at 35 to 36 rupees. So it also has reported the growth of not less than 88 to 90%. So this is the power of poultry. Additional and important point, we always highlight that agriculture land is becoming scarcer and scarcer. Availability of agriculture land is going down because of urbanization. So rural is getting converted into urban, agriculture land is getting converted into non-agriculture, and at this point of time, affording agriculture land for any other usage other than agriculture is a national cry. So we always keep this in mind, and with this we see that broiler, layer, these are the two farms which we utilize the land which is absolutely not fit for agriculture. So the land which is not fit for anything is the most suitable land and the most qualified land for poultry. And the power of poultry, we can see that for 1 acre of land, which is a barren land, which is a non-irrigated land, produces 50 tons of rich and quality protein through broiler farming, 28 metric tons of quality protein through layer farming. And a direct comparison, if we see to the agriculture, then it's a soybean farming which produces 1.8 to 1800 to 2000 kgs of annual protein through soybean. These two, I am taking 2 crops in a year. I'm sure, being the agriculture expert, they will endorse that 1 crop of soybean will not produce more than 1 ton to 1.2 tons per acre. So this is the power of poultry, that in a barren land, non-irrigated land, we are producing 50 tons of protein through broiler and 28 tons of protein through layer. Coming to the distribution of poultry population in India, the recent survey of Indian government has stated that as a percentage, we are close to 40% in broiler, 30% in layer, and backyard and duck placed within 30%. So all put together, this 100% distribution, the dominancy of broiler and layer is 70%, close to 70-72%. So this is a graphical presentation of that: 38.7% broiler, 29% layer, and 29.8% backyard. As far as the state-wise dominancy is concerned, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu are on the top. Then Maharashtra, Karnataka coming to the next. West Bengal and rest of India put together. So all put together, 729 million of poultry population is distributed throughout the India. This is the growth story of Indian egg, as Dr. Vatsap said in his inaugural speech, that India is producing close to 103 billion of eggs. But still we feel that this growth is not sufficient considering our requirement of the future. But the growth of layer industry was to the tune of 5 to 6%, and now it is coming close to 7%. Thanks to the genetic research, thanks to the managemental part which farmer is performing, and thanks to agriculture, whatever support they have been giving us till 2019-2020, because of which we have reported 6 to 7% of the growth in layer industry, and now we are producing 103 billion of the egg production. When the matter comes to per capita, I mean, we are not proud to say that we are less than 100. So per capita egg consumption is growing, but it's growing very slowly and steadily. From 58, now we are touching to 79. So this is a decade story. From last 10 years, we have come from 55 eggs of per capita to close to 80. But still, this growth is not more than 2 eggs to 2.5 eggs per year. And I'm sure this definitely will change the statistics in future, and we will have to cross not less than 6 to 7 eggs per capita on a per year basis addition to this, and we should cross 100 very soon. Reason behind that is, if we compare our per capita consumption with any other countries, be it China, Japan, or any countries, you can see that if we convert it into kg, we are hardly near to 4 kg as far as egg consumption is concerned, and all other countries, they are in the multiplication of 4 times to 5 times than us, and close to 15 to 20 kg per capita as far as alone eggs are concerned. There are other protein rich non-vegetarian commodities also, but when matter comes of eggs, we will have to cross this number, and we will need to have at least double this number from 4 kg of per capita egg consumption to not less than 8 kg of per capita consumption. The interesting part in India, what we are witnessing from last few years, is there are people who are vegetarian, but they are 100% vegetarian, though they are not non-vegetarian. So we say that egg is a bridge between vegetarian and non-vegetarian community. And if really somebody wants to jump from vegetarian to non-vegetarian, he will have to first touch to the egg. He will have to start consume eggs, and then he thinks of non-vegetarian for a second. So egg has got that power, and I'm sure in future we will witness the growth of layer industry even equivalent to the broiler industry to the tune of 8 to 9%. We always say that why we cannot export, being a very competitive age of egg production. Our egg production cost is somewhere around 3.6 to 3.8 rupees per egg. But in spite of that, still we are not major exporter. So these are some of the reasons which I will discuss. But before that, this is the statistics of India. So how egg consumption is dominated, and what is the distribution of egg consumption percentage? Export is not less than, I mean, not even 1%. So it is less than 1%, 0.57% of eggs from India are being exported. Egg processing, 2.29% of eggs are being processed. Midday meal, thanks to the kind of support what policymakers are helping in majority of the states, because of which close to 6% of the eggs are being consumed through midday meal or Anganwadi, and retail consumption is 91%. So as far as export is concerned, we are less than 1%, and egg processing is concerned, we are less than 3%. This is the movement of egg. We see that we always say that South India is the egg basket of India, and South India produces eggs, and those are being distributed to rest of the India. Majority goes to central India, majority goes to northern India, western India, and very few percentage goes to export, that too from South India, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Andhra Pradesh. So this is the egg movement of India. Dominancy wise, South India dominates egg production, and nowadays even North India also has become a production hub for eggs, and slowly the number of egg farms have increased and improved in Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and part of Haryana and Punjab. Coming to that interesting statistics, India adjoining color pattern. As we say that why we cannot export our eggs to adjoining countries, this is the answer for that. If we see that China, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, all these countries are dominating brown eggs. So more than 80% of the eggs being consumed in these countries are brown eggs. And if we see the world egg consumption pattern, you can see that only 30% of the white eggs are being consumed on a worldwide, and brown eggs are dominant. If you think of Europe, if you think of any other country or continent, you can see that 70% of the eggs are brown eggs, and only 30% of the world is white. Europe, you can see almost 80% brown, Russia brown, Africa, major more than 90% brown. Only Middle East and some part of India, Pak, Philippines, Japan, and some Asian countries. These are the countries which are dominant in white, but rest of the world or rest of the part of the world is brown. This is one of the basic reasons why Indian eggs, which are white, are not being exported in much quantity and in much number. Coming to the statistics, this is the statistics of eggs. Feed cost is 3 rupees 10 paisa per egg. Whatever the maize price we have recorded and reported last year, we have taken an average price of maize of 21 rupees to 22 rupees on an average from April to March. So because of which the feed prices of per egg has reached to 3 rupees 10 paisa, which is 81%. Pullet depreciation, when we say pullet depreciation, is cost of pullet, point of lay, minus cull cost divided by number of eggs whatever farmer has received, that gives you pullet depreciation, that is 55 paisa. Rent and labor or medication comes to 15 paisa. So put together, our egg production cost of Indian farmer is 3 rupees 80 paisa without interest, and the dominance is still feed cost. More than 80% of the cost is dominated by feed. It's not easy today to start a layer farm. Reason, the capital investment and working capital requirement to start a layer farm is close to 750 to 800 rupees, which is very, very costly. So if we think of starting 1000 capacity layer farm, we need a investment of 8 lakh to 8.5 lakh rupees. Still, the capital investment is very high, that is 66 to 67%. And alone capital investment is not sufficient because land cost also plays an important role. Though we need the barren land, non-irrigated land, but still, considering the today's prices in India, it's not easy to come and start a layer farm with such a heavy capital cost and with such a heavy land cost. So put together, if we really somebody want to start a layer farm, he will need a capital of 10 lakh to 12 lakh rupees to start a layer farm of 1000. We can imagine the multiplication cost, and if somebody want to have a farm of 10,000, it will be not less than 1 crore rupees of the investment. So despite this investment, the remuneration what layer farmer today is not getting to that extent. Reason behind that is because feed cost is enormous, and our major cost goes as a feed, and 80 to 90% of the investment is contributed from feed point of view. So this is statistics of layer from 0 to 72 week. Our feed cost requirement is close to 1000 rupees per bird, that is 89%. Chick cost, the present chick cost layer is contributed 39 rupees, so 3.32%. Medicine vaccine requirement for whole life cycle of a layer is 27 rupees, so 2.3% requirement goes for medicine vaccine, and rent, labor and other charges are 60 rupees, so close to 5%. So turnover of layer industry per bird is close to 1200 rupees, and out of which 89% goes for feed, and only balance 10 to 11% goes for management, goes for medicine vaccine, goes for rent and labor. So we are heavily dependent on agriculture, we are heavily dependent on feed for the economics, be it layer, be it broiler. But coming to the layer statistics, this is the statistics in front of us. Again, coming back to our production cost, how it has moved in terms of eggs. 2011-12, we were having a total production cost of egg of 2 rupees 20 paisa, and we were realizing 2 rupees 45 paisa. So that time we have realized 25 paisa profit per egg in 2011-12. The statistics on an average is coming to more or less the same because of the feed prices. You can see that from 2015-16 onwards, our feed prices started increasing. Reason, the layer and broiler industry has witnessed the growth of 8 to 10% on a yearly basis, because of which our load on requirement of maize and our load on requirement of soya has increased, because of which, being the agriculture land remaining the same and the output did not improve much, because of which the realization, or rather sometimes we imported maize also from outside, and because of which our egg cost has increased from 2 rupees 20 paisa, and for last year our production cost has increased to 3 rupees 80 paisa. So within 10 years, from 2 rupees 20 paisa cost of production of egg, we have witnessed the cost of production of 3 rupees 80 paisa, and that increase in percentage is 72%. However, the realization didn't increase to 72% directly, thanks to the productivity improvement by way of genetics, by way of management, and by way of nutritional research. what expert has done, because of which this shock of 20% has been borne, though the realization has not increased to that extent. So our realization, of course, last year, because of COVID, we were not in a position to realize more than cost of production. So considering that February and March, our realization has gone down than the cost of production. But considering the future, we expect that the eggs will be not less than 4 rupees 50 paisa realization for Indian farmers for 2020 and 2021. So this is the egg distribution, the traditionally what farmers are doing. As I say that if farm gate price is 3 rupees 63 paisa for last year, then we always blame that trader or wholesalers are, exploiting the farmers. Somehow I would like to state how that chain moves from farm gate price to the consumer. If we are selling eggs at 3 rupees 63 paisa, then the trader or wholesaler purchases that at 3 rupees 63 paisa. His transportation cost comes to 15 paisa. So his cost of purchase becomes 3 rupees 80 paisa, and he sells at 3 rupees 90 paisa to the distributor. So his percentage of profit is close to 3% to 4%. Then the distributor is another channel who purchases at 3 rupees 90 paisa from wholesaler. Then he adds his transportation and his cost of purchase becomes 4 rupees, and he sells to the retailer at 4 rupees 20 paisa, 25 paisa. So his profit percentage becomes 6%. So 3% profit by trader or wholesaler, 6% by distributor. So close to 10% of the profit is being taken by trader and distributor, and then retailer purchases that at 4 rupees 25 paisa, and then his cost of purchase becomes 4 rupees 30 paisa, and he sells at 5 rupees. So 16% by retailer, 6% by distributor, and 3% by trader. So all that put together, you can see that almost 25% to 30% of the profit is being taken by this particular chain. And when we say that gross price to retail index, so our gross price to retail index from 363 is 5 rupees, which is still well within the limit. Or rather, we can see that if we compare this with milk or vegetable, definitely it is less than that. So we are having 3 rupees 60 paisa when farmer is realizing, then consumer is purchasing at that 5 rupees with the traditional chain of transporting the eggs from farmer to consumer. If we see that rather than a traditional chain, if somebody goes for packaging, then how this economics suits? Very interesting, considering the future as we discussed in the morning. Without marketing, I think in future it will be suicidal to produce 100% of the produce and think that somebody else will come to your rescue and they will give you the remunerative price. It is difficult. So at least 15 to 20% of your own produce should be marketed, or producer should market 20% of their own produce to make sure that his 80% of the produce fetches a better price. So this is one way of packaging and then supplying to the retailer. Same economics, 3 rupees 63 paisa. If I am a farmer and so my farm gate price becomes 3 rupees 63 paisa, my packing expenditure comes 16 paisa per egg, labor expenditure 5 paisa, wrapper cost, transportation cost, and packaging per box. And if we convert it into per egg, then it comes to 12 paisa. So put together, 4 rupees 19 paisa is a packaged egg production cost for a farmer, and then supplier commission at 18 paisa. So 4.3% is a distributor commission. And if we go this to the retailer or a super stockist or a mall, we can see that 30 to 35% is the MRP which they are keeping on the cost of production. So if 4 rupees 37 paisa is their purchase cost, then the eggs today are available at 5 rupees 85 paisa with packaging. So this is a package of 6 eggs, and if somebody bypass the channel of distributor, bypass the channel of wholesaler, and if he approaches direct to the retailer, then his particular cost definitely will be better, his particular remuneration will be better. And I'm sure most of the layer farmers today are thinking and they are coming with their brand, and 20 to 25% of eggs should go into the packaging industry, or rather packaging should be the next marketing mode for egg distribution is concerned. Coming to the meat industry, this is top poultry meat producing countries: US, Brazil, EU, China, India, Russia, Mexico, Thailand, Turkey, and Argentina. So this is the production per metric tons. India is still I mean, not competitive as far as volume growth is concerned. And definitely over a period of time, we will be competing. But still today we are on number 4 to number 5 if we consider a total yearly, if we consider the total chronology and ranking from US to India is concerned, we are somewhere around number 5th. But as far as per capita consumption is concerned, we are nowhere in the picture, because per capita wise, though in number we are number 5, but on per capita wise, we are nowhere in picture, because Israel, US, Malaysia, Australia, Brazil, Argentina, Saudi Arabia, you can see that their per capita consumption is ranging from 40 kg to 60 kg per capita, whereas India is even somewhere around 5 kg per capita. So long way to go, and in coming future, we can see that even if we want to double our per capita consumption, still it will not be sufficient, because we are talking only in terms of domestic consumption. We have not considered export opportunity from India, because right now 98% of Indian produce is being distributed domestically, and hardly 1% to 2% goes for export. So this is the broiler population and consumption. We pre-COVID have produced and placed 432 crore of broiler chicks in India on per annum basis. Per capita consumption of broiler meat, India 5.3 kg. Maharashtra, just for the sake of comparison, I have given that Maharashtra is 6.5 kg per capita consumption. Broiler industry open 35% and integration 65%. When we say integration, it is just a systematic way of doing broiler farming, nothing else. Most of the time it is misunderstood that integration is a dominancy of companies and only corporate companies are there in integration, which is not a case. Even an individual farmer also is a part of this integration system, only because he is providing remuneration to the other farmers, and at the same time he is maintaining his scientific way of rearing by way of all in all out, and at the same time by way of maintaining the cycle which is required for marketing. So 65% of integration and 35% open market. So this is the economics of broiler farming, or rather distribution of economics. Chick cost 26 rupees, so 17% of the investment goes for chicks. 110 rupees feed cost, 72% investment goes for feed. Medicine vaccine 4 rupees, so 2.63% percentage goes for medicine vaccine. Managemental cost 12 rupees, so close to 8% cost goes for management. So all put together, we can see that 152 rupees per bird is a total cost of production of a broiler. And this is distribution of percentage. Still feed is very dominant. More than 70% of the investment is through feed, and rest 30% is through management, medicine, vaccine, and chick cost. So this is yearly day-old chick price, how it has moved from 16 rupees to 23 rupees, 2011-12, 16 rupees, and 2019-20, 23 rupees. So 40% of the increase in chick prices from 16 rupees to 23 rupees. Production cost, as I say that feed as an important parameter for everything, whether it is a chick production cost or a broiler production cost or egg production cost. So 2011-12, when feed prices were quite under control from poultry perspective, 45 rupees was the production cost and 49 was the realization. And in 2019-20, 73 rupees was the production cost. So increase in percentage of production cost from 45 rupees to 73 rupees has gone to 63% increase in production cost. However, realization from 49 has reached to 67 rupees, considering last year as an exceptional year. Even if you remove that, still only 40% realization has grown and 63% production cost has grown. So the difference between this 63% and 40%, 23%, whatever that shock was there, that is being absorbed thanks to the efficiency of genetic research, thanks to the efficiency of management and nutritional research, because of which our FCR has improved and our overall productivity has gone up, because of which our production costs remain quite under control, and farmer could at least make 4 to 5%, 3 to 5% of the profit at the end of year, thanks to efficiency of farming. As we say that investment wise, it's not that easy, but still, if we compare layer investment versus broiler investment, layer requires 750 rupees per bird investment, whereas broiler investment is 410 rupees. So capital investment is 250 rupees for shade infrastructure, and working capital which is required for chicks, feed, medicine, vaccine is 160 rupees. So the distribution of capital investment versus working capital comes to 60-40. We say that if our capital investment is quite high and our working capital investment is less, then it's the best suitable ground for integration. And in case of broiler, you can see that 60% capital investment is done by a third party and working capital is done by the people who are doing integration, because of which it is giving a good employment and because of which it has become a support to the existing agriculture activity. If we go to any area somewhere in Maharashtra, Gujarat or any part of the country, you can see that interior along with agriculture, a small shades of 5,000 to 10,000 capacity have come up thanks to the integration system, because of which farmers who are dependent on agriculture is not 100% dependent on agriculture today. A part goes for a development of poultry, part goes for day-to-day activities of poultry, and along with that, he is taking care of agriculture. So it is providing an additional remuneration to the agriculture farmer. So indirectly, we are helping or instrumental for doubling the income of agriculture farmers by way of poultry farming. Again, interesting statistics. This is, we always say that in today's morning inauguration session, we discussed that marketing is a key for profitable poultry business. So as far as broiler industry grows, we can see that number of shops. Very interesting statistics it is. If we think that retailers are exploiting or retailers are making huge money, I think we need to relook into the statistics, because if somebody is starting a retail shop, then his average sale, of course this average sale is throughout India average sale, 35 birds per day is the average sale, which includes the sale of Mumbai, which includes the sale of Delhi, which includes the sale of Bangalore, and at the same time this includes the sale of city like Anand or a rural place of C or D grade cities in the village area also. So on an average, one shop sells 35 birds per day. So considering the broiler population, we are having 338,000 of retail shops all over India. Vehicles requirement, which is required to take the birds from farm level to retailers level, then we need approximately 1,500 vehicles. So that close to, we need close to 8,000 vehicles, considering a capacity of 1,500 birds per vehicle. So 8,000 vehicles are required on day-to-day basis. If we consider that industry has to grow at 8% expansion, then number of shops with this particular speed of 35 birds sale per day, we need from 338,000 to 365,000 of the retail shops. We need number of vehicles from 8,000 to 8,500 vehicles, and extra shops required 27,000 and extra vehicles required 632, because alone growing production units at a production level will not suffice the purpose. Alone growing consumption by a consumer will not suffice the purpose, because you have to bridge the requirement as well as the production from producer to consumer by way of creating these infrastructure. And I'm sure when we think of poultry industry, this becomes a key part. Unless and until number of shops and number of vehicles increases, the support of growth to the poultry industry will not be sufficient. Even if we decide that all the parameters are up to the mark, without the growth of retail shops and without the growth of number of vehicles, it will be difficult, because one side you are producing, other side consumption is ready, consumer is ready for consumption, but we have to bridge this by way of extra shops and by way of extra vehicles to be made available. So 35th in the world in 1980, we are proud to say that today we are 5th in the world in 2019. 5.2 million metric tons of meat we have produced in 2019, and because of which our number has gone to 5th in the world, and our per capita consumption is close to 5 kg per capita. Thanks to the agriculture, thanks to management, and nonetheless thanks to the research team, because of which we are in a position to reach from the FCR of 2.2 once upon a time to level of 1.45 to 1.5 on an average basis for the volume of 3 million birds. So because of all this teamwork, definitely we have reached from 35th to 5th number as far as meat production is concerned. So 5.3 kg per capita has to reach 11 kg. 79 egg per capita has to reach 180 eggs. So long way to go, and I'm sure this particular growth will be cherished by Indian poultry farmers or those people who would like to join this industry as a new entrepreneur or as a small farmer or as a medium farmer, or for that matter, even as a retailer or a distributor, for any kind of growth which poultry industry would take. I'm sure there is a share for everybody, including a major share and major chunk for agriculture sector. We always say that bird flu happened. Of course, it was an unfortunate part to the industry. But when we look back, we think that if bird flu would not happen, we would not have reached to the kind of consumption industry is witnessing today. COVID, we are not yet fully recovered from COVID impact. But I'm sure when we look into the future and when we think of today's day, I'm sure we will be saying the same thing, that because of COVID, of course, it was an accident. We have lost our capital, but still considering the kind of benefit what COVID has given is the awareness among the consumer for immunity, awareness among the consumer for importance of protein in terms of developing the immunity. And when we think of protein and immunity, I think the major part comes is a poultry, because almost 70% of our non-vegetarian population thinks that poultry is the best suited non-vegetarian food for them, and so also is the egg. So this is a percentage pre-COVID and present placement and institutional sale. So pre-COVID, we were witnessing 60% of the retail consumption, 40% of the institutional consumption, and placement was considered as a 100% placement. Rather, it was 110%, not 100% pre-COVID. During the period of lockdown, everybody has witnessed and very unfortunate incidents of lockdown where everything was standstill. Distribution of feed, supply of medicine, supply of chicks, supply of bird. Considering that our retail consumption, despite all odds, 30% was retail consumption. Hardly any institutional consumption during the period of lockdown. You know the reasons. And the placement came down drastically to the 10%, and slowly it improved and it settled at 50%. Current, of course, because of things coming down and our unlock season has started, our retail consumption has reached to 60%, institutional consumption is somewhere around 12%, and the placement is coming back slowly to normal, but still it is not fully recovered to 100%. It is still less than 80%. So 70 to 75% of the placement as far as chick placement is concerned. Next 12 months, we have to forecast how our next 12 months would be. We are expecting 60 to 70% of our retail consumption. Pre-COVID level, it will come back to normal, 60 to 70%. Institutional sale, we are doubtful that whether institutional sale will be 100% to the level of 40% what it was pre-COVID or not. But we are sure and we are positive that things, whatever has been lost by institutional sale, will be compensated by retail consumption. Still, we expect 15 to 20% of institutional sale. And the placement for next 12 months, we are expecting to reaching to the normal level of 80 to 90%, though may not be at 100%, but of course 80 to 90% will not be a difficult task, and we expect placement of 90% for next 12 months. These are some of the growth potential of poultry farming. As we say that increasing consumption in urban area, so also the consumption of rural areas are there, and untapped new rural areas are joining. New consumption centers are coming up in country. States like UP, West Bengal, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, and Bihar are developing in terms of infrastructure, thanks to the respective governments who are taking keen interest for doubling the farmers' income by way of supporting it through poultry infrastructure. Regional integrators heading toward corporate poultry farming kind of thing. Limited contribution of rural poultry and other species as a novelty. So there the broiler and layer comes into the picture because of their organized nature and because of the things which are completely set, and the systems are set for broiler and layer farming. But future poultry production will be dictated by, as I say, that availability of corn, soybean, and other raw material. There is no escape for that, and agriculture, I think, should be hand in hand with poultry. Then only the poultry's growth is possible. Processing facilities, as we say that what milk industry has shown us, that with the help of packaging and processing facility, the growth of milk industry was leaps and bounds, because of which we expect that processing facilities, if are being developed for poultry, will definitely support to the growth of poultry industry. Clean water, environmental issues, marketing and managemental practice, undoubtedly it goes unsaid that these are the supportive wheels of poultry industry, and because of which we have witnessed the growth, and in future also these wheels will be required for accelerating the growth of poultry industry. Still 95% of the live birds are being sold in India, and only 5% of the product goes as a processed meat or processed meat product. So dominancy of live till today is 95% and 5% is a processing. Weight market, urban 60% and rural 40%. This is a distribution as on today. I am sure because of COVID and because of whatever the kind of new normal we are witnessing, we expect that home deliveries and the people who come into the marketing will increase this percentage, and we are hopeful that this percentage will push to 90% live and 10% to the processed broiler meat and the products of poultry. Area of efficiency, chick cost, yes, breeder operation, thanks to the genetic research, we are witnessing a very nice productivity, but feed cost is a constraint because of which our chick cost is a bit high. Feed efficiency, enzymes, digestible amino acid formulation and non-conventional feed ingredients will play a very important role in future to make sure that our dependency on maize and soybean will reduce to the great extent. Though it is very difficult to reduce the dependency, but still to few percentage we can expect to be compensated with the help of non-conventional feed ingredients. And of course, management very dominant, which is in the hands of rural sector, which is in the hands of the farmer, because of which we are witnessing this growth and excellent efficiency of broiler and excellent efficiency of layer. Again, these are some of the efficient areas where one has to look into purchase. As we say that agriculture is a dominant as far as our supplier part is concerned, but still there are chains which is coming from agriculture farmer to the poultry farmer, and that chain is with the help of some trader, with the help of distributor, with the help of some logistic people, and that is the area of efficiency to be looking. Storage, we have seen that storage has played a very important role, and most of the farmers, they are preferring to store at least 5 to 10% of the feed ingredient, in particularly maize and soybean. Finance, without the help of finance, without the help of financial institutes, it is very difficult to expect a growth of 8% to 9% growth in poultry. So help of financial institute and enriching your financial sources makes an important area of expansion. Productivity efficiency and marketing efficiency goes unsaid. Till the time we were very, very sure that up to production, if we are taking care, everything is all right, but tomorrow it's not going to happen. Even if we are very great efficient in production, still, unless and until our marketing efficiency comes into the picture, expanding our profit or retaining profit will be difficult. So even for retaining profit also, we have to look into the matter that our marketing efficiency has to be improved. We always say that what are the trends we expect in future? Because in poultry, as we see that in last 30 years, we have come up a long, long way. From conventional cyclical farming to all in all out, at the same time maintaining the cycle, automation, part to the environmentally controlled shed, part to the best of the facilities available at a feed mill, best of the facilities for processing plants, everything. But what are the trends we expect in future? Need to look into the future, peep into the future and adjust ourselves. Marketing, of course, as we discussed that marketing is an important and key area. Concepts will change. We have seen that during the period of lockdown and COVID, we have seen that lot of concepts which were there has been completely removed, and whatever our mental blocks were there, within overnight, those mental blocks were diluted, and now we have accepted those concepts as our routine. And at the same time, we have to look into some threats and some concerns for the industry, which in future could be, maybe it could be disease, maybe it could be legislation, maybe it could be an international threat, maybe it could be some lobbies who are working, and because of which we will have to rush into those kind of areas which is not there in our picture right now. We expect some of the trends in farming or production, as we say that integration versus open. Integration definitely will be dominant, but at the same time, part of open market also will be there. EC housing system is coming up slowly, though it is not affordable right now, but still EC housing cannot be denied to few percentage, and automation, considering reducing the dependency on labor, is a required trend to come into the future. Marketing, live versus dress. We say that 95% of our birds goes as a live bird, but at the same time, dress percentage is slowly increasing. In future, we expect that definitely to be increased. Value-added product after dressing is a part of our marketing chain. And eggs, which right now we are consuming more than 97-98% eggs as a raw egg. Definitely liquid eggs, packaged eggs, and powder eggs will be a part of our diet, or the consumer requirement in coming decade definitely will increase for liquid and packaged eggs. We say that what kind of concept we expect in future. Broiler integration system is a well-developed and set system, but broiler subcontract system cannot be ignored, and we expect that broiler contract system, subcontract system will be a part of integration system in future. Layer integration today, it is not a part because of heavy capital investment, but in future you cannot deny the emerging layer integration in the market. Prerequisite condition, we always say that price of finished good decides the concept, cost of production decides the concept, and of course working capital and capital investment ratio, that also decides what kind of concepts in poultry will be coming in future. Threats, disease, import policies, legislation, social and welfare issues. I am sure every industry is facing these issues nowadays because of strong dominant social media, WhatsApp media, and some circulation which is being happening right now, because of which some dilemma comes in the consumer mind, and if something comes, consumer restrain himself from eating the kind of food he is eating on day-to-day basis. So these are the issues will emerge in future, and industry has to prepare, or rather industry has to develop a separate cell to counteract these kind of issues, and they should be in a position to counteract that. Agriculture growth, we always say that without agriculture growth, poultry growth is difficult. So if poultry has to grow at 7 to 8%, agriculture need to grow more than 2.5 to 3%, particularly maize and soya. That is what is a key area, and these are some of the concerns for us. Myths about poultry product, we always say that there are certain myths which are being circulated among the consumer, and somehow poultry industry is not in a position to counteract that with 100%. Of course, thanks to the team like Dr. Ranade and his team, who always at the rescue of poultry industry. But egg consumption and heat production, unnecessary heat production is directly linked with egg consumption, and people feel that in summer you should not eat the egg. So these are some of the myths which need to be clarified by industry. Egg consumption and heart problem. Of course, now most of the university research says that heart problem has nothing to do with egg consumption, but still that myth is there. Native eggs versus farm eggs. Of course, this myth is there that native eggs are quite good in nutritive value compared to farm eggs, which is not the case. Being a nutrition expert, people definitely will make a comment on it. But still, these are some of the myths which are there right now in the market. And of course, antibiotics and hormones. Unnecessarily, this is being circulated, which need to be clarified by expert authorities of the government and the people who are sitting on the top of authority level. Because poultry industry clarifying the myth of antibiotic and hormone becomes a biased thing. It's like that somebody else talking good about his own product. Definitely he will talk about his product very well and very good. But independent authority and policy makers should peep into this for clarifying all these myths. And I think that will be a big support to poultry industry from government or policy makers point of view. Chicken promotes health, heart health, rather than we say that, rather than it's a problem, it's a heart health rescue. And unless and until you have a good source of protein, your heart cannot be strong. So chicken provides under-consumed vitamins and minerals, and definitely it's helpful for heart health. Eggs are providing all kind of nutrition and nutritive support to the human health. So immunity is the only medicine for prevention of corona, we always say. Chicken breast, these are the powerful points that it have 100% 90 gram of protein, which is protein rich 100% and enriched with all kind of minerals. Eggs, of course, thanks to animal husbandry department who has come up during the period of corona, boost the immunity, easy to digest, high in protein. These kind of promotional activity need to be circulated. Of course, these are some of the things which we are facing. Draft rule, bars keeping hens in the cramp hedge. These are some of the things which will peep into the future. Court cases are there, cage ban or some kind of cases definitely will be there. And I think government and poultry industry needs to come and clarify the myth. We don't want to confuse our consumer. Very clear. Because we are doing a legal business, we are doing an ethical business, and our business is crystal clear and nothing is harm during doing the business. When we are doing this, I think unfortunately we are not in a position to reach to the consumer so strongly whenever some kind of myth comes about broiler chicken or egg, or kind of some conspiracies like corona, conspiracies like plastic eggs. So all these things are, we can say that, distractors of today's era. So when somebody is doing business sincerely, these are some of the distractors, and every time people have to come to the rescue, and they have to take the challenges that plastic egg is not there, antibiotics are not fed in Indian poultry, then hormones are not being introduced into the poultry. Why India? I mean, we talk that internationally nowhere the hormone is introduced, because hormones are useless, artificial hormones are useless for poultry. But somehow reaching to the consumer, these kind of clarification are very essential, and I think being a poultry industry's part, we need to take care of this in the future. So alone taking care of business will not be the business, but taking care of the part which is not of your business is really a business and the matter of business in future. So these were some of the, I mean, clarification. And of course, these are important job, but non-productive job, because you have to leave everything and rush to the press and rush to the media and reach to the consumer that this is how it is happening. We say that milk industry has done a lot of revolution. Once upon a time, milk, I mean, when I was small, I remember during my childhood, these kind of gaulies, and today also it's dominant, but still, once upon a time, it was a common practice. Over a period of time, it was taken by bottle milk, and later on with the help of plastic pouches, and because of which polypropylene pouches, and because of which the milk consumption has improved multifold. This lesson we have to take from poultry perspective, and we definitely need these kind of lessons for future, because alone traditional way of marketing will not be helpful, and we have to take a help of the professional marketing or a processing or a packaging, which is very important. People are coming into the processing sector or a packaging sector. We can see that the packaging sector is making a quite dominant role for supply of eggs, but still it is not more than 4 to 5%. In future, we have to think packaging as a very important tool for supply of eggs. We say that every apple is an apple, but finally we choose which kind of apple. The apple which attracts to your eyes is the apple which goes to your pocket, and the apple that goes to your fridge. That's as simple as that. Same is the case with the eggs also. Every egg is an egg internally, but finally which egg consumer will choose? Definitely the egg which looks very nice, which looks very bright, not only from external point of view, but from internal point of view. So color of yolk will be a deciding factor in future, because if you are asking your consumer to purchase your egg, these are some of the points which cannot be ignored, because consumer most of the time calls us and says that I brought eggs from X shop and the yolk was white, and I brought eggs from Y shop and the yolk was yellow. So definitely he is going to buy the egg from particular shop where he finds that the yolk is yellow. That's as clear as that, as simple as that. So we have to take care of all these kinds of consumer perspective in future to consider the growth of poultry industry or the kind of growth we are going to expect in future. So of course, if we are having 4 different yolks color, the yolk color which attracts to the eyes will be the egg which will go into the pocket of the consumer and fridge of the consumer. So that cannot be denied, and considering this psychology of a consumer, we have to keep our business perspective quite intact. Some chains like Venky's Express, which are coming right now to great extent, and I am sure that most of the farmers, they also are thinking this, because when you go to the restaurant, there are many things which comes into your plate. But if you are going to a Venky's Express, you will see that more than 90% of the food which is coming to your plate is full of chicken. So when you are going to the chain of such kind of restaurant, chicken or egg should be made available at a very reasonable price. I expect that if somebody has not visited, do visit such kind of restaurant, and you will see that if you are taking a note of 200 rupees, you will come with full of your tummy by just by paying 200 rupees, which is really an important perspective for a future, because consumer will think of what he is paying and what he is getting out of that. And there I think poultry people, being a production people, should think from consumer psychology, and they should think from consumer psychology's point of view for producing or rather supplying those kind of products. So some mouth tempting products which are always there from different houses, including Venky's, including other people who are into marketing and processing sector: nuggets, burger patty, finger, chicken, cheese, nuggets, cutlets, popcorn. These are some of the products which need to reach to the consumer to make sure that your overall production is being consumed and the justice is given by a consumer. Because alone chicken or alone egg may not be sufficient. You have to make sure that those products should be made in a palatable and reach to the plate of the consumer. Of course, McDonald's and KFC are a very dominant consumer of the chicken industry, and definitely they also have improved the overall consumption of Indian consumer. And thanks to all these kind of QSR restaurants which has come up in past. Some products definitely are required to reach to the consumer plate, and be it biryani, be it egg omelette, be it boiled egg, whatever it may be, or half boiled, are some of the products which makes not only breakfast but also for lunch and dinner. So these are some of the perspective from my point of view, and I mean, as I said, that it will be very difficult to sum up all the poultry perspective right from production till marketing within a period of 1.5 hours. But still, I try to cover most of the things right from production till processing till whatever the future trends we are expecting in future. And that's it from my side. So I sincerely thanks organizer for considering me for this keynote address. And I sincerely thanks Dr. Ranade for considering me for and asking me to deliver this keynote address of poultry, covering most of the points of the poultry. So nice of you. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir, for nice and elaborative information on poultry sector. Sir, I can read on my screen that there are so many overwhelming response from our participants. Nearly 300 participants are watching our live streaming on the YouTube. We are doing this on YouTube live. So very informative session, very excellent presentation, correct and updated data. These are the words from this participant, sir, which I am just reading out. Excellent information, very good information. Really, sir, this is very good information. You touch all the aspects of poultry industry, right from the industry status, importance of other agriculture industry in this poultry sector, what will happens in the industry, what will be the future, even marketing and distribution channels also, even problems faced by the poultry farmers, everything you have discussed in future, how this industry will grow, how this quick serving restaurant will help us to rescue this industry, and even the government policies and what we need from the government and what government doing. Everything you have covered, sir. So it is very much informative, and almost all the information you have covered, sir. Sir, yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, we have a couple of questions from our audience. Sir, our audience is a diversified audience. So this question is also diversified. Some basic question is also there. Some advanced question is there. So, if your permission, we can take some questions, sir. Sir, first question. Sir, can you narrate the difference between broiler chicken and country chicken in all aspects like protein content, health benefit? This is one question, sir.
Okay, very important and good question, because I have covered this particular point in my presentation, that these are the things which we need to highlight to the consumer, because there are certain concepts among the consumer that native chicken and broiler chicken. Of course, when we say that chicken, definitely the analysis of chicken is done, then nutritive value wise, there is no difference as far as native chicken is concerned or broiler chicken is concerned. What matters is sometimes, whatever the body weight broiler you are choosing and whatever the body weight native bird you are choosing, that definitely may give some kind of different taste for a broiler and different taste for a native. But as far as nutritive value is concerned, definitely there is no nutritive value in terms of percentage. Okay. So when we talk absolute term, rather broiler chicken will be better in absolute term, because you are picking a bird of 1.5 to 2 kg. And when you are talking of native chicken, definitely you are producing, but you are preferring 1.2 to 1.5. Except the kind of taste, and of course the taste now is being decided and dominated by the spices what you are using. It may not be a direct taste of a chicken which is coming to your tongue, but I am sure these are some of the questions, representative of common consumer. If you ask me, I am sure there is no difference as far as nutritive value is concerned. Rather, Eating broiler is more scientific way because it is grown up in a very scientific way. It has been provided with a kind of quality nutrition to them. So definitely broiler goes on a rank 1 compared to a native chicken.
Sir, second question in the same line. Sir, what is the difference between nutritive value of brown egg and white egg, sir?
As I say that internal, yes, a very important, good question, because these questions are the representative questions of a consumer psychology, which is right now there in all over India. So if you ask that if I am not from poultry, definitely I would go and prefer that brown egg is a better egg rather than a white egg, because you can see too many white eggs. You hardly see brown eggs in the market, very few. So it stands apart from the crowd. So whatever stands apart from the crowd is considered to be elegant and it is considered to be some high value. But as far as internal part of egg is concerned and nutritive value of egg is concerned, I am sure whether it is a white egg or whether it is a brown egg, there is no difference as far as internal constitution is concerned, except the weight of egg. If your weight of egg is more, then in absolute term you are getting more nutrition. And if your weight of egg is less, then in absolute term you are getting, but in terms of percentage, there is no difference. So as far as brown egg is concerned or white egg is concerned, nutritive value wise, internally it is the same. But for eyes, brown eggs looks better and white eggs looks very common. That's it.
Sir, we have more question on this aspects only. So I will take one more question, sir. Sir, is there any adulteration in egg? Is possible or not? Which is egg is available in the market? Can you give some like adulteration in eggs, sir?
Very, very, very nice. We always have been addressing this question that this is the only commodity where adulteration is impossible. Only commodity. Rather, there was a challenge which was given last time when this plastic egg controversy has come. I mean, Ranade Saab is here and he was very much a part of clearing the myths about that conspiracy. And he has done an extensive work throughout the Maharashtra to clear that conspiracy. Egg is the only commodity which cannot be adulterated. There are no plastic eggs, there are no artificial eggs. And if eggs are stored in a proper way, I am sure egg is supposed to be the most important and nutritive capsule right now available, which we can say as a natural capsule which is coming to your plate. So that's it. There is no adulteration. Ranade Saab, if you are okay, then you also can please join us and answer the question, sir.
Yes, sir. Dr. Rajpura, I think we may request Ranade Saab also.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ranade sir, join us, sir.
Yeah, we organized one press conference in Pune when that issue was very burning, and a lot of reporters came, and we demonstrated it. We demonstrated the removal of shell membrane, burning of shell membrane, burning of plastic, and the internal contents of the eggs. Because see, the common man, they are also not wrong. They are not aware about the parts of the egg. They are not aware about the internal contents of the egg, and so the confusion. And these people, mischief mongers, they always take the advantage of their unawareness of the customers, and they play with them. So we did a very good press conference, and since then, literally it was like a magic. And since next day onwards, there was no news whatsoever about the plastic eggs. So this is what happens. People unnecessarily create a hype. Press and reporters and everybody, they help us, and we all try to propagate the correct information. Let it be bird flu, let it be plastic eggs, or let it be anything. Now there are some pictures, some birds dying in a particular shed, and then some slogan would be written. So all such things we need to address in order to help the industry. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. I take one more question, sir. Same in line of the nutritive value. What is your views on organic eggs and organic poultry products, sir? Rather than farm, yes, sir.
See, organic word is very attractive nowadays for the customers. As far as organic is concerned, that may have some value, but as far as nutrition is concerned, there is no difference. You can think of organic eggs. If you can afford it, you can definitely buy it. But contents of the egg, the nutritional contents being same, it all depends on the affordability. If you could afford, then it's fine. Otherwise, not. number one. And secondly, certification. In our country, the certification of a particular commodity or a particular product, whether it's organic or not, is a little bit tricky. So one has to be a little careful when he goes and buys the organic eggs. If he wants, he can. If he affords it, he can. But nutritionally, there is no much difference.
Sir, thank you, sir. Move to next question, sir. We have 2 pages of question written, so we have time, sir. With your permission, I will take one more question, sir. Sir, right now, people are or the advertisement of plant-based meat protein is there. So, is there any impact of this plant-based meat protein on poultry sector in future?
Long way to go, sir. Long way to go. Long way to go, because to change the taste of Indian people, to change the mindset of Indian people takes a very long time. And it's a big country with 130 crore plus population. So innovative thing like this, even if it is introduced, how many people are going to go for it and how it's going to affect the sector as such? Very difficult. And it's a long thing. It's still not there in the developed world. So why to worry about it now?
And other thing is that when we say that natural and organic is a part people are now endorsing, so one side we are exactly counteracting by saying that an artificial meat. When you say that when natural things are taking a dominance and people are thriving for natural things, so definitely people will thrive for a natural chicken, good quality chicken and natural egg rather than thinking of anything artificial. Even if it takes a part, it will take a part of some vegetarian population. So it will work as a bridge to coming to the non-vegetarian consumption. That's it from my side.
Thank you, sir. Sir, we have one more question. That is recommendation of eggs consumption according to age, or how much egg is to be consumed, like that. Question is there. This is general question. Can you explain something?
Ranade, sorry, I couldn't get you.
Egg consumption recommendations, sir, depending on age and everything, sir. What is it?
2 eggs per day, absolutely no issues for those people who have a feedback intact. See, people are worried about the cholesterol, right? And if the mechanism of cholesterol synthesis, which is done by liver, and the signals given to the liver for synthesis of cholesterol, if that is intact, then there is no problem. Practically speaking, the dietary cholesterol and the blood cholesterol has no direct relationship. It all depends on the signals which the system sends to the liver, how much of cholesterol needs to be synthesized. So up to 2 eggs, even if we consider a healthy human being, 2 eggs per person per day is not at all a harmful thing at all, unless he is compromised with respect to lipid metabolism and with respect to that feedback which the body receives for synthesis of cholesterol in the system.
Rather, we say 1 gram of protein per kg is must. So for a normal person or even a sedentary person and the people who are working or athletic people or sports people, their increase per kg of and per requirement of protein per kg increases. So I am sure this has become a part of everybody's diet. So egg has to be very
yeah. Thank you, sir. One more question is there. Please suggest easy and technical method for storage of eggs and how long we can store eggs at home, in particularly a refrigerator. This is related to storage of eggs, sir. Please.
Under practical conditions, in the refrigerator, 3 months, no problem. In the ambient temperature, 15 days in the open, no problem. It becomes little stale. There will be evaporation of moisture from the contents of the egg, but the egg remains edible. But beyond that, one should not keep.
Thank you, sir. One more question related to the price fluctuation, sir. 2 questions is there. I will read the 2 questions. You can, sir, please ask, please answer it. What is the reason behind the price fluctuation in India? This is a common question for India. And one question from northeastern part. In Manipur state, price of egg is around 20 rupees, and for 3 eggs, that is around 7.5 rupees. Is it reasonable to buy? So this 2 questions is there for price. So just
okay. As far as price fluctuation is concerned, if we see that from last 2 decades, whoever people are there in poultry industry, they are witnessing this price fluctuation, and the price fluctuation is to such an extent that even from 40 rupees to 120 rupees, this is a broiler price which is fluctuating. The reason why price fluctuate, as we say that our dominance on live bird market is to the tune of 95%. Okay. When you are selling any material which is live, then either it's a complete shortage, either it's a complete excess, or it's matching to your demand, or it's a disparity in demand and supply. So whenever there is a disparity in demand and supply, and being a live commodity, you cannot keep it at your farm level. So when demand goes down, and if your production is not matching to the demand and production is more, then you are forced to sell with reduction in price. Technically or logically, people say that even by reducing the price, consumption is not going to increase. Agreed. But to keep those birds at my farm level and feeding them is definitely a matter of concern for me, and I cannot keep beyond certain extent those birds at my farm level. So I have to sell it into the market, whatever the price is there. So the price fluctuation is because we have a decentralized marketing, number one. Had it been a centralized marketing that all producers are channelizing the marketing of their bird through one single channel, then price fluctuation will be taken care of, which is not there today. Second, being a live, and it is not a dress or a process or storable matter, then definitely you cannot store the birds. So that is the second. These are the two dominant reasons because of which price fluctuation is there. Second question of yours is that in Northeast area, whether it is 21 rupees 3 eggs, whether it is a reasonable price or not. As I say that when we are saying that if farmer is selling his eggs at 3 rupees 60 paisa from farm gate price, then the retail price which consumer right now paying in Pune is 6 rupees. So index of farmer production cost or selling price versus consumer purchase price, that gross to retail index right now in case of eggs is to the tune of 30 to 35%, which is quite absolutely reasonable. As far as Northeast is concerned, I'm sure there the logistic becomes a bit costlier, because of which they must be incurring 50 paisa to 60 paisa more. So I'm sure today's considering price of Pune 6 rupees, the Northeast price of 6.5 to 7 rupees is quite reasonable.
Thank you, sir. One more question to consumption also. Why? Because we have huge production, but consumption is by less in India compared to other countries. Egg consumption and meat consumption both is comparatively less compared to other countries. What is the reason behind it?
Yes, we say that in the first slide only, I have said that 71% of our population is a non-vegetarian population, number one. We have occasional non-vegetarian. We do not have a profuse non-vegetarian population right now who eats non-veg on a day-to-day basis. Second. Third and important is your per capita income and your per capita consumption goes hand in hand. You can see that in last decade only your per capita consumption has gone up. Why? Because your economy has actually accelerated from 2008, 2009 onwards till today. So your per capita income and per capita consumption goes hand in hand. So because of which today we have reached to the level of 80 eggs per capita and 5 kg chicken, which is very nice. I mean, that way, though it looks very less from developing countries' point of view, but developed countries have not reached to the developed country position today. It has taken at least 2 to 3 decades for them to reach to that level. So we are not to that level today to decide that our egg consumption is 150 or 160 per capita and per capita chicken consumption is somewhere around 8 to 10 kg. Everything goes at its own pace. Then again, the question comes of price fluctuation. If you think that your production has to increase on a per capita basis to match, then you will not get remunerative prices. So everything requires a time. So today's time we are having 80 eggs and 5 kg per capita chicken consumption, which is very, very impressive today, considering the per capita income of an Indian population is concerned today. In future, when per capita income goes up, I am sure the protein consumption definitely will go up.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. One more question is there. Sir, you talk about this genetically modified, that not genetically improved, but not modified. Genetically improved bird means what? Because this is because we have a vast, diverse audience. So this question arises from the question. So just please explain.
Excellent. I don't know I am a right person to answer this question or not, but when we say that India is strict no for genetically modified seed in terms of agriculture, same goes that agriculture productivity and agriculture seed variety right now is available, is giving you more yields. Okay, what it used to give 2 decades back, today's yield is much high. It is because it's a selection criteria. It's not genetically modified. It is rather even genetically improved also will be the right word, but it is a continuous selection process and procedure because of which you are selecting the birds which are giving good yield and good productivity and good FCR, less mortality. So it is rather a completely natural process of a selection rather than thinking that you have got some other mechanism for genetically modified thing. So it is a genetically improvement and selection criteria which decides today's productivity of layer and today's productivity of broiler.
And sir, which genetically improved bird is available in India for the farmers? These are the questions. One question.
Of course, as far as broilers are concerned, the most dominant broiler breed right now available in India is Vencop 430, which is improved one, and in case of layer, it's a BV 300. That is in terms of productivity and which is considering as the best for broiler farmer and layer farmer. That's it.
But those birds cannot be considered as genetically improved or genetically modified. This improvement has been brought about by the breeders by selective breeding and by providing all the necessary inputs required for that bird to grow in terms of nutrition, in terms of vaccination, etc. So no one should carry the message that we have the birds which are genetically modified or genetically improved or any genetic manipulation has been done over there. No, whatever improvement you see now is just because of the development in terms of breeding, selective breeding, very nice selection. I can take the names of so many scientists from private sector as well as from the government sector that the breeding efforts done by the breeders have led to improvement in the productivity of the bird. Genetic improvement is not done.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Sir, no doubt we have one talk on the FPOs, role of FPOs for poultry farming. But here one question is there, sir. What is the percentage of small poultry farmers in poultry business, and how FPO will helps to the farmers, sir, in poultry particularly? This question is there, sir. No doubt we have one lecture of Dr. Deka on FPOs particularly.
Yes.
But just you have
state to state, this percentage will vary. When we say that number of farm wise, then number of small farmers are to the great extent in particular states like whether it's Uttar Pradesh, whether it's Madhya Pradesh, whether it's Maharashtra, and to some extent even in Gujarat also. Number of small farms are there, but now the definition of small farm has changed. Once upon a time, 100 to 500 capacity farm was considered as a small farm, but today, because of their continuous expansion and the kind of remuneration what poultry has given, because of which a small farm, we can say that a capacity of 1,000 to 5,000 in between capacity farms are considered as small farms. And this percentage is not less than 30% as far as Indian statistics of poultry population is concerned. This is on a number of farm wise basis. Okay. So this is overall statistics of farms between 1,000 to 5,000. And 5,000 to 10,000 farms, they are catering to another 20 to 25%. So 55% of total number of farms are ranging from 1,000 to 10,000. This is the statistics of Indian poultry farming.
Thank you, sir. We'll take one more questions and then we'll sum up our session, sir. Is there any government support or what kind of support is there to start a poultry farm? This is first question. And which farming is profitable, either broiler farming or layer farming? And which business, as a startup, which business is to be selected, sir? These two questions, sir. And by that, we'll end up the session, sir, after this question, sir.
Okay, your last question I will answer, and first question I will request Dr. Ranade to answer. But your last question is whether broiler farming is profitable or layer farming is profitable. I will say that both the farms are profitable. Thing is that what suits us, in my presentation, I have told that the capital investment requirement in terms of layer farming is bit high. So if you can afford that kind of investment, and if you can think of minimum 5,000 of a commercial layer farm, definitely layer farm also will prove equally better to the broiler. But in terms of layer, you don't have an option of contract farming. So in terms of layer, it's an individual farming wherein you have to either purchase chicks or pullet and then start your own farm, wherein production also is managed by you and marketing also is managed by you. So there, your investment is not less than 15 to 20 lakh rupees as far as layer investment of 1,000 to 2,000 bird capacity farm is concerned. This is without land. And in terms of broiler, your farming investment should not be less than for 5,000 bird capacity, whether it's contract farming or whether it is your individual farming. And there, your investment goes to the tune of 20 lakh rupees if you are going for your own farming, and your investment goes to the tune of 8 to 10 lakh rupees if you are going for a contract farming. So broiler farm or layer farm, whether you are interested in either of the segment, both the segments are equally profitable, layer also and broiler also. Broiler, you have option of contract farming. In layer, you don't have option of contract farming. That's the only difference.
As far as government is concerned, every state has got an animal husbandry department, as we know, and they have the schemes for typical different categories of people, like Alpa Bhudharak and below poverty line and all those people. Of course, all those schemes are on a very smaller scale, but the government also is in the mood of promoting a rural poultry farming rather than a commercial poultry farming. So in poultry, we have three tiers of poultry production. One is backyard, which is almost negligible. Every farmer has got about 10-15 birds roaming here and there in the villages. Second is the rural poultry farming, where the specifically developed strains by the institutes of government, maybe CRI or maybe PDP Hyderabad, or now the name has been changed, Director of Poultry Research at Hyderabad, they are producing. Various agriculture universities are producing. Gujarat is producing. Kerala is producing. So those birds which are specifically developed for rural poultry production are being given to the farmers for rearing. There's a rural poultry sector. And the third is commercial poultry sector. So the government is insisting on the rural poultry farming. The chicks are available. All the necessary inputs and the technical support is available for a moderate kind of a farm or moderate size of a farm, and that can be done with the help of the government. But as I said, all these schemes are for a specific group of people. One needs to find out by visiting the animal husbandry department what kind of schemes are there and to which people those are applicable. Okay? Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. On behalf of the SNAHEP team and my entire team, a special thanks to Dr. Ranade, sir. Sir, in spite of your ill health and in this situation, you are with us since last 2 hours, sir. This is your presence only, sir, make us strength, sir, and your words in spite of this health give us a strong strength, sir. So we always need your support, sir. Be thankful on my team and on behalf of Poultry Fraternity. We will pray for your speedy recovery and you will back to us in a normal position with us, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I'm also thankful to Dr. Pedgaonkar, sir. Even on 11th hour, he accepted our invitation. Sir, this is courage and this is important for us, sir. This shows that your importance with the poultry industry and for the poultry farmers, sir.
This is the spirit. Yes, this is the spirit of poultry people.
Yes, sir. On 11th hour, sir, sir. Previously, sir, I had approached sir for this impact of COVID and poultry sector, but this is much more. What time will decide that is better than best, sir. So thank you very much, sir. So thank you, sir, and we will be in touch with you, sir, for future advice also, sir. I will say to Dr. Savale, sir, can speak. Sir, please, sir.
Sir, Ajit sir, thank you very much from our side, that is from the NAHEP team. Being ill health, also you have presented well, sir, and remained with us for more than 2 hours. I also thankful to Dr. Pedgarkar, sir. Being a nice presentation, sir. It is a overall look for the poultry industry. And thank you very much for all 2 speakers, sir.
Pandit sir, please.
Pandit
Your
sir.
remark. Pandit sir, please your remark. Your mic is off, sir. Yeah, please. Switch on.
Mike, sir. Mike. Pandit sir.
Actually, sir, basically, because this project has in the very outset, we said this is centric to marketing, trade, price forecast, producers organizations. But listening both the veterinaries here today, I think this has made a wonderful session because, sir, we are conducting these programs, Ranade sir, and also we are attending some other programs. But only either one person is there maybe, but we are having 2 persons and 2-3 times the senior people are having Ranade sir. It seems that we are not only technically, but we are encouraged to do more work by seeing the spirit from you and maybe from Pedgaonkar sir. Because this is not a wonderful presentation. You have covered all the things, production side, processing side, and marketing. We are having some perspectives to design the projects at master's level. This is one of the objectives of NAHEP projects. Whether we can design some, yes, most of the students, PG students and faculties, they are looking some new perspectives. And seeing these presentations and the discussion from both veterinarians, we have these perspectives and we shall be designing some projects. Though the project will be centering to the economic side, management sides, focusing on marketing and trade. Sir, though I could not attend full, but I think this is a wonderful presentation and we have learned many things from our side, sir. Thank you very much to both of you, sir, and all the team. Yes.
Thank you.
Raise Mike.
Thank you very much, sir. We'll conclude our session here, sir, inaugural session. So in afternoon, in session 1, we have 2 renowned speakers. One is Mr. Vasant Kumar, sir. He will speak on this impact of COVID on poultry sector. And second speech by Dr. Dinesh Bhosle, sir. He will speak on impact of commodities and feed additives on poultry economic. So my request to the participants, please join us 2:30 on live, YouTube live. Please spare your valuable times for 2 hours with our speakers on these 2 aspects, sir. So by this, we end this session here, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Have a good day, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, doctor. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Good day, sir.
Good day.